I want to welcome you back to Bits Be Trippin'. Now we got a great episode coming up here. We're going to take 6 of those R7 240s. We're going to put those into a rig. We're going to do the normal thing of looking how they hash, what's the good configuration, and how much power do they use. But we're doing this all for not just to show you what an R7 240 can do. We're doing this to help people that are kind of on the fence if they want to start getting into mining, getting into the cryptocurrency, get them a machine that allows them to play ball like the rest of us that are doing this, but doing it at a price point that really makes it enticing to get in, get to play, get a big rig together, lay out those cards, feel immersed in this whole complete genre, but have a very sub 500 to 550 price point to get in with a full 6-card rig. Again, real excited to show you this. This is your host Carter. Let's get into this. Now, first to come clean why we chose the Sapphire R7 240s. These bad boys were actually shipped as an incentive purchase with a Newegg purchase that we did. We bought 6 of the R9 280X Sapphire Toxics. This was a promotion that they were adding these 6 cards as a kind of a BOGO, a buy one get one free. So we said, why not? We'll just put them into a rig and see what they can do. Now, looking through what we had available at the time, we went ahead and paired it up with a CX600 Corsair power supply. We had some USB risers that had not been working for us in a 280 build. So we went ahead and said, well, maybe part of the problem was it was drawing too much power. Let's see if they work with the 240s. To our surprise, they worked remarkably well with the 240s. The only problem that we did have, however, though, is we could not get this 1X slot to work with that 16X slot on the BTC board with these USB risers. So we did push one card down into the slot itself, and you'll see that in the build. This was really a test rig right out of the gate. We wanted to see this in one of the larger 6-card rigs that we have and see how it would hash and if we could tweak it and see what the power settings were. And we paired that up with a mechanical hard drive. We were out of SSDs, didn't feel like running out to Micro Center, said forget it, we'll just throw a mechanical in there. This was, again, a very temporary build. We wanted to see, just what these little guys could start hashing, and thought it would be kind of a cool video. And much to our surprise, as you'll see here coming up, these little guys are amazing. They're very efficient. They ran for days without any issues, no hardware errors, nothing, and have really surprised us both on a power usage and total hash amount for what they are. Mind you, these are $36 cards if you were to purchase them outright, and I've seen them as low as $24 on eBay a card. Now, some of the quick details: these are 2 GB cards. They have a feature called Boost, which essentially takes the effective core clock speed of 730 and boosts that up to 780 megahertz. In addition, these are 28 nanometer chips. They have 320 stream processors. It's a 128-bit DDR3 graphics card, and finally, being this form factor does not require that external 12-volt rel to plug into it. It's completely powered by the PCI Express bus. Now, under a full load, we'll take a look at this kilowatt. From AC from the wall, this thing was only pulling 272 watts from the wall. Running for a while here, as you can see that we pan into the CG miner here. No hardware errors, holding a 106 kilohash per card. Now, this is untweaked. This was just using Boost, the built-in features that are on it. We did not tweak this thing at all, and out of the box, this thing is running 105 kilohash, 635, 636. It locks in at and stays for the entire rig. This thing does not miss a beat. This was the only rig out of every rig that we've ever built that I plugged all 6 cards into, and out of the gate it works. Well, I'll take some of that back. Obviously, we had a little issue with that 16X riser and that 1X slot, but short of that, we plugged that in. I did not have to do any kind of configuration with Windows 8.1. It found all 6 cards. It ran them right out of the gate. Now, mind you, I did not do any drivers. I built this OS. We used the base drivers that came with Windows. We did not install the Catalyst drivers with this build. As we started tweaking the settings, we're able to still yield the same amount of hashes out of this and dial down the power tune. I believe we got it all the way down to -10 on the power tune, and we'll show a couple shots of this, and brought down the power usage. Final panel at the very end of this at 106 kilohash per card and narrowed that down to 248 watts from the wall. Total power usage on all 6 cards. 248 for 635 hash. Not bad at all. Now after running for a while, we wanted to check some outside external thermals, and there was a key reason why we did this. We wanted to look at maybe changing the rig that this would be in. We've had a couple ideas about putting a rig together that would be vertical in nature, something that was kind of more, I don't want to call it Art Deco, but something that was a little different, that didn't take a lot of footprint. These cards gave that opportunity to have 6 cards in a rig and stand it up. So we were taking some thermals, looking at how much heat they were generating. Obviously we could see how much the cards were having internally with CG Miner, but we wanted to see how much thermals was this putting out with the cards pretty close together. And what we're able to pick up here is that the external temperature, and granted the meter's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. We're looking at close to 40 Celsius, 42 Celsius external temperature on the outside of the heat sinks of those cards. Low 20s, mid 20s for the rest of the rig. Now this gave us a lot of confidence in that we would be able to pull together a vertical rig that would generate heat in such a way that would exit from the top and offer a unique build, something that's a little different that nobody else has seen. Gave us an opportunity to play around with some more power tools and put together what we'll call the Frankenstein Tower. So now I unveil Frankenstein's Tower. This build was a ton of fun. We want to get in here and get some really good close-ups, but really this was designed around that H81 Pro BTC board, and 6 of these R7 240s stacked in such a way that allowed the vertical nature to really work for us. On top of that, with the power usage that we saw, we wanted to see if 420 watt power supply would work with this rig. And now it's a little less efficient. It was actually a system pull, and we had to use a few adapters because of all the USB risers that we were using required some extra power. But we see here that it was a little less efficient than that CX600. Mind you, we didn't change any settings at all. The CX600 with these same settings was showing around 255 watt from the wall. This was showing a little more. We show it here running here for a while now. You can see those accepts. It's been running for a while, no rejects yet. Holding around 635 to show the efficiency of the hashing on this. And of course, all the rest of the components were the same exact components used in the rig prior to this build. We'll post those down below, that way you can kind of see the entire build and the general specs that we used for this tower rig. If you wanted to create something like it, if you had some 240s or smaller cards, we'll provide that information, of course, down at the bottom for you. Now in the closing of this episode, the one thing I wanted everybody to kind of get from this, the price point of this entire rig. Now mind you, the cards were absorbed into the cost of the R9 280Xs that we had purchased. At that time they were $554. These are $600 cards now, but the $554 came with these, so the cost was sunk into that price point. So it was essentially a net zero for us, which allowed this to be a very cheap rig. But if you were to go out and purchase these cards, you're looking at right around that $24 to $36 price point. You put those 6 cards together. If you can get a deal on some risers, put the risers in there, 10-15 bucks. We'll put a table up of what the total cost, both from a low standpoint, medium, and a high standpoint, of what this rig would cost, some power ratios versus other rigs. But bottom line, very simple. This is a very cheap entry level hashing rig. If you're on the fence about getting into this genre and start dabbling in some Dogecoin or some Feathercoin, some of these alt currencies that you can actually get some quantitative currency to do some exchanging, tip some people on Reddit, whatever, it allows you to get into this genre at a cheap price point. And for you folks that are really power is a consideration, this allows you to get 6 cards at 635k hash for under 250 watts. You know, the configuration that we'll post up here with a good efficient power supply, you're looking at under 250 watt for 635 hash. Now looking at the 750 Ti, which we'll have in a later episode coming here, the power to hash is much more efficient. Yet 6 cards, 1 rig, under $500, or right about that. This is what you're looking for. If you want to bring your friends over, show that you're involved, you're mining cryptocurrency, and you want to have that footprint of 6 cards, this is your cheapest entry point. point. Now, as for final closing thought, I want to make sure that you know what's up and coming here. Again, I had mentioned the 750 Ti build. Cannot wait to bring you that. We have a couple different videos with that. One, I'm going to bring the Asus OC, that's the overclocked version of that 750 Ti. The thing's amazing, puts out over 300 hash for less than 65-70 watts. That one does have a 12 volt rel with it. There are the 750 Ti's. We got 6 more of those coming for you for a 6-card rig that do not have the 6-pin, to show you kind of the difference between the two 750 Ti's and what you get power to hash ratio on that. Looking really forward to bringing you that 6-card rig there. Additionally to that, we have some MSI twin Frozer 750s. I showed them a few weeks back. We're going to bring 12 of those into a couple different rigs to show you the consistency between two rigs that were built with different power supplies, and just show you the settings, setup, the whole 9 yards, to show the consistency of the build process and how to be very efficient with that, with two, as an example, with 2 rigs. And then of course the mineral oil mining rig build has started. I'm going to throw some pictures on Twitter here over the next few days so you guys can start to see how that rig's coming together and the filming of that's coming together, and get you guys excited for that one too. So lots going on in March. March could be the month of NVIDIA. We'll see. Put your comments below, and we'll get some more videos out. We're looking for a couple more this week coming, so hopefully we can bring up the frequency, and hope that you guys enjoyed this build. Catch you later.
The bits be trippin'. The bits be trippin'.